to Ask Lewis with Serafina.
Hey everybody, we are back with some of your questions.
Welcome back. Let's do some questions.
Yeah, there's been a few more and I'm glad you've set the timer, right?
Yes, yeah, set the timer, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we'll stop in 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Okay, there's just so much to cover, it's really cool. Okay, so here, this is a question from Sophie on Instagram. It's what are the benefits of carbon, alloy and steel frames?
Oh, great question. Okay, they all have their own benefits in different senses. I would say that is a very difficult question to answer, but I'm going to say carbon fibre, like this bike here, is really good for when you're doing your racing and going fast and you want all that sort of efficiency. It's a very stiff frame. It doesn't, a very stiff frame. Carbon will only flex in different areas to make it a little bit more comfortable, but as a whole, it's a very stiff ride. So when you're sprinting into the finish line and doing all your racing and trying to beat KOMs, King of the Mountains, up the hill, and all this cool sort of stuff, that's where carbon comes into its own. I would argue that it also looks cooler, in my opinion. What else could we say? It's easier to mold it into different shapes. For example, this particular bike here is quite an aerodynamic looking bike. So when we're talking about, again, racing, saving seconds here and there, having a nice fast aerodynamic bike is a cool way to look at it, I suppose. That's carbon fibre. When we look at aluminium, aluminium is really good in the way that it's a lot more affordable than either of the other two options here. Aluminium is what you'll find most entry-level bikes as being, again, just from like a price point aspect. When we look at steel frames, steel is really cool in the way that it's really strong and robust, and there's not a whole lot that can damage a steel frame. Even if there's like an impact or something like that from something quite heavy or strong, like a stone or a rock, or even you've got all your big heavy bags on there with lots of water and your tent and all this sort of stuff, they kind of come into their own just being such a strong frame. A lot of people talk about them being quite comfortable as well when you're doing your long gravel rides across long gravel roads and all that sort of stuff. Apparently they're very compliant is what a lot of people say. So steel is really popular for gravel because of just how strong it is. The only downside that I would say to steel is that it is quite heavy. So I guess that's my short answer. Carbon fibre is cool for racing. Aluminium is cool because it's nice and affordable. Steel is cool because it's really strong and robust. Next question.
And actually, because I have just done a ride with Jason, which everyone would have just seen.
Oh yes, of course.
It was a really heavy bike.
Yes,
it was really heavy. It was 18 kg.
Oh right.
Yeah. So I suppose that's the benefits of you use that more for bike packing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're talking about strapping your bags to it and riding from Perth to Sydney, the Indy Pack wheel race, having a really strong bike that can handle that is so important. Weight's always a factor, unfortunately, but when you want the strongest bike you can get, steel is the way to go.
Yeah. You can handle anything. And then as long as you've got the right gearing, you're going to be able to go up.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I've just had a customer walk in, so I'm just quickly going to put a pause on this. I'm going to say hello to him and we'll be right back. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Hello, how you going? All right.
This is so cool. This happens every time we're filming. There's always people coming in and out of the shop wanting to see Lewis. It's really good. It's really, really cool. He's very popular.
Oops, sorry about that. Cool, I'm back. All right. We were talking about different types of frame before, and you were saying you might have had a question about different frames?
Yeah, well, I like what you were saying was that the carbon frames are better looking, really are.
Yes.
And I think the same. And I think
absolutely.
That's what attracts me to the road bikes and the carbon frames, because they're very sexy. I can say sexy.
Yeah,
they're very sexy.
They are sexy.
And we should go and show a couple that you've got in the shop, because there's
one outside you like.
There's one that I really like.
Okay, let's go and have a look. Yeah.
And I have been thinking, I'm like, should I? Don't tell Fuji, but I'm thinking. I don't know. But
all right, let's go and have a look. Which one are you looking at? Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about already.
You like it as well?
Yes.
Guys, come and check this out. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's just so sexy. It's
absolutely
really,
So that one's the Pinarello Dogma F10. So Pinarello is, for a lot of people at home who might already know, they would call it the Ferrari of push bikes. This one is a disc brake version as well, so it's like a current generation sort of bike. This one is called the Dogma F10, We're now up to the F, so this one's a couple of years old, hence the reason why we're in a pre-owned bike shop as well, but brand new, unbuilt. From what I've heard, I think there were 3 of this particular colour brought into Australia, and they were only ever sold to Zwift employees, which is pretty cool. That's why it's got the Zwift colouring on it as well, the orange, the pink, the blue. It says made in Watopia underneath for all you Zwifters at home. You'll know what that means. Uncut steerer, all this cool stuff. Like I was saying, there were 3 of them brought into Australia. And from what I've heard, one of them has been hit by a car and written off. So I think this is one of 2 left in Australia at this point in time.
Really?
So
there's only 2 of these?
There's only 2 of these. It's your size, all this cool stuff.
Keep talking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pink, it's sexy, it matches your shirt. Let's go.
It is very cool. I mean, and yeah, I don't know, like it's just, I would be able to go faster on that than I can on Fuji, right?
Oh, don't say that out loud. Fuji might hear. Yeah.
I can go faster on that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's F10, so it starts with an F. So we're still sticking with that Fuji Fredo family.
Yeah.
Oh, that just made sense in my head then. Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's and how much would that weigh?
Great question that I don't know the answer to off the top of my head, but I'm gonna guess like maybe 2 kilos, probably less than that even, probably more like a low 1. Yeah, we can check if you want to actually know. I've got some scales if you want to weigh it, but that is, again, like I was saying, the Ferrari of push bikes. On paper, that's as good as it gets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, let me know. Do you reckon I should I upgrade Fuji? could I put my 42 cassette on that?
Man, I'll make anything fit on there. Absolutely, yeah, definitely. We'll fit the whole group set on there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just moving across the disc brake, that's the only thing to think about. Okay. But that's a conversation for off camera maybe.
Yeah. And just quickly, because I think we're about to run out of time as well, that's the beeper.
Yeah.
But why don't they make sexy, heavier bikes with steel frames?
I'm sure there's a huge market of listeners sitting on their couches at home right now that strongly disagree with you, that think steel looks awesome. I think carbon looks cooler personally, but I guess we're talking about different paint schemes and different materials and different tubing and so many different variables in that. I think I think carbon fibre looks cool because you can mould it into such a beautiful shape, whereas with steel, it's usually like a perfectly cylindrical tube, which is what traditional bikes look like. But now that we're moving across to all this fancy, cool carbon fibre, I mean, technology's just coming a little bit further, I suppose. So, yeah, I think a lot of people will disagree and will say that steel looks cooler. I, however, am on the carbon fibre fence.
I'm on your side.
Yeah.
It's like DC versus Marvel.
Exactly. It's people on both sides.
Yeah.
Ford versus Holden, Port versus Crows, all that stuff.
Yeah. We have, again, run out of time, as we do.
Yes, there's too much to talk about. We're having too much fun, all of that cool stuff, but we've really got to cut it. We've gone over time, so thank you everybody for watching. I'm sure we both had a lot of fun, and I hope you did sitting at home as well. Thank you for watching our videos.
And we'll see you next week, and send in your questions.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.